Alright guys, a while back I became aware of a product. I saw a link or on Facebook or on a forum or something somewhere about a product that I thought, that's a pretty neat concept, but I didn't think much about it after that. And then last week or the week before, Dave Canterbury did a review or overview of it. He's recently started carrying it in his store, and he broke the package open and showed exactly what it was, and I kind of fleshed it out beyond what the ad that I saw was, and I was like, man, that's a awesome concept. It went from that's a good concept too. That's an awesome concept. Now, at the same point in time, I have yet to see, or at least it's been a long time since I've seen a product come out on the bushcraft market that has caused such a controversy, especially with friends of mine. That some people are just like, that's. I'm not going to say what they're saying, but I mean, it has caused a huge controversy, and so that's my personality. I'm a firebug. People are arguing about it. I'm going to buy it. So, what we have here today is Dragonfire Tinderbox Extreme Tinder Bag. But before we break it open, I want to say one thing. I can't outdo Dave's review or overview of it. I'm not even going to try. I think there's a few things I can add to the conversation, but I'm not trying to trump Dave at all. His was a great overview, and like I said, I'm just going to add to the conversation here and kind of, I guess, give my take on the controversy that this stuff has created. So anyway, now let's break it open and see what's inside. Alright guys, well, I'm not going to be able to add much to Dave Canterbury's review or overview. Like I said, I'm just trying to add to the conversation, kind of sort of give out my opinion and refute some of the comments that I've heard. But at the same point in time, I'm going to also give you my initial impressions. The bag is pretty cool. There's a lot of potential there, in my opinion, at least being able to use UV to purify water if you so choose. But also looking inside before I open it, I'm seeing birch bark, fatwood, jute twine, looks like milkweed, dander, fluff, whatever, pine needles, looks like a spruce twig, shavings, probably fatwood shavings, but it kind of sort of looks like pine, can't guarantee it. Looks like a pretty good assortment in there, and lots of hard lumps. So let's break this up and see what we got. Yep, definitely birch bark, definitely fatwood. And guys, this isn't store-bought fatwood. This is nature-found fatwood. I'm not sure if that's fatwood or just something sat in there for so long that it's picked up the pine resin smell. That is interesting. Now, I've just dumped this out, see what we got. I talked with Daryl from DragonfireTinderbox.com quite a bit a few days ago, and got some information about this stuff. This looks like, I've never seen it firsthand, but this looks like a pod for milkweed. This is just your general small tinder stuff. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. The idea behind the Extreme Tinder Bag is twofold. One, you can start lots of fires with it if you need to, but also if you need to boil water, cook a meal, whatever, and this is the only tinder you have, that you could get it done with this. There's hardwood chips, there's tinder in here to get things going, and that sort of stuff. Pretty sure that's milkweed. It doesn't look like cattail. It does the same stuff though. There's birch bark in here. That is definitely cattail. Lots of pine needles. Here's a pine cone. Looks like it's been impregnated with some resin. Same deal here. Here's some wood chips. I don't know what they are. Alright guys, so obviously there's a lot of assortment of stuff. This, I'm not exactly sure what it is. Kind of looks like jute twine, tussled up. Again, we got pine pine needles and pieces of wood, twigs, some kind of dust that I don't know exactly what it is. But anyway, stuff's supposed to boil water. See if it can. Alright. See what kind of fire we can make here. Using the old Pathfinder bush pot. And remember, I got this whole assortment of tinder left over back over here. Of twigs, hardwoods, fat wood. Birch bark back in there. And the goal of this stuff is to be able to use this bag to boil water. I put that on too soon. Come on. It's about 8 ounces, I guess. Some of that fat wood ended up outside of my pot here. Alright gang, I don't know if you can hear that. We're now boiling. And it's been about 7.5 minutes. Not bad for something that comes in the size of a mountain house bag. Alright guys, well just some concluding thoughts. Well, we just boiled water with it. That is one of the main designs of that package, is to boil water for a mountain house kit or something like that. It did perfectly. As you can see, there's still a good coal base. I've put a few twigs on it just to kind of light it back up so the camera can see. But there's still a great coal base there. There's probably still enough to at least come close to boiling another 6-8 ounces of water. So I mean, that is definitely in its favor. And if you separated that kit out, you probably could easily make, if you could find a decent amount of tinder elsewhere, even if it's damp, you could probably easily make a dozen fires out of that package. So, that's money well spent. So, just to kind of accelerate this before I lose my fire here and lose the illumination for the camera, the rest of my concluding thoughts are it's well worth the money. Um, there's a lot of naysayers out there. They say that, the availability of this package, it promotes laziness. For people who, they can just buy this instead of going out into nature and finding their own tenders and learning how to utilize the tenders that they have in their area. Well, I disagree. I guess there is the danger of that, but that's that person's problem. It is not Daryl's problem. Well, I'm not going to offer this package because someone might get lazy off of it. Well, that's that lazy person's problem. Um, I think it's a great kit. I think for someone who's just starting out, who may not know what birch bark is or what fatwood is, I think it's great. They can buy it in one package and say, oh, this is what birch bark is. This is what fatwood looks like and smells like and feels like. This is how it shaves off. This is how it lights. And so that way they can go out into nature, and when they see it, they know what it is. They don't have to wonder. I see 100 posts a week on Facebook or elsewhere. Is this fatwood or is this birch bark? Well, this can kind of help answer those questions for a very economical price. I don't get anything for this review. I'm not selling it for him. He's not paying me. But I think he's got a great idea. I think it's a great concept. I think it's a great concept to take to classes. If you're teaching people how to make fire, I think you take 2 or 3 of these, you're set. It provides confidence because you have a tinder that is, is basically bomb-proof. This package is a win-win. And if you're going to stand back and say, it promotes laziness, so therefore it's a bad product and nobody should buy it, well, along with that lazy person, that's your problem. Sorry if I offend you. I'm sorry, but that's the case. This stuff is made in America, gathered in America, grown in America. It's put together by an American small business owner. Let's get behind him and support him. Alright guys, I apologize for that. My camera battery died on me. I've got it charged up enough that hopefully I can finish my thoughts here. I don't remember exactly where I left off, but in my mind, this concept and this package is great for anything from from classes to provide that the first fire or two of confidence boost, and easy fire to start out with, and then kind of move on to the more difficult stuff, and really start to teaching the science of fire, to having in your bag just as a secondary tinder. When I go out in the woods, I pretty much just rely on what I can find around me. But if things are really bad, I'm going to want to have something, a surefire option on my body. And I'm not one to, I carry commercial fire starters just as a just in case. I've never actually had to use them, but this is, for someone like me who greatly prefers natural tenders, I think this is a great option just to keep as a secondary. Even if you have fatwood in your area or birch bark or something like that, if you can't find your go-to tinder in your area in a bad condition, or bad circumstances, excuse me, this is great something to have with you. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, guys. I think you get my point. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I had a lot of fun playing with this. Daryl's going to be hearing from me pretty soon for a repeat order. I think this stuff is pretty cool. So anyway, thanks guys, and I hope to see you next time.